your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, how about it? Another beautiful, warm, well above average, record-setting day with the temperatures. Sunshine and now a few clouds that have moved in here tonight, as you can see on the satellite radar picture. But look at the temperatures. Better already. Still hanging in the 70s. I mean, we're talking 72 in Springfield. It's 70 down in Effingham and 69 in Champaign. Now, as we look at the rest of this evening, we'll see the temperatures just kind of hovering into the 60s for much of tonight. It's tomorrow. Major changes arrive. We're talking thunderstorms, the potential for severe weather, very gusty winds, and soon, much colder air. We'll show you what to expect with all of that when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now, from WCIA 3 News.
She will be the first woman vice president of the United States. How Kamala Harris once called Champaign-Urbana home. And it's been a week since Election Day. Which race is still too close to call?
Plus, a dozen firefighters have coronavirus at one department. What that means for you at home.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
A woman, finally, a woman who's vice president.
And a woman who for a while called Central Illinois home. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris's family stayed in Champaign for a year. Good evening. I'm Jessica Coons in for Paul.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Democrat Joe Biden defeated President Trump and is on his way to becoming the 46th president. His pick for VP is very familiar with Central Illinois. We talked to a woman last year who was good friends with Kamala Harris's family. We asked her how she felt when Harris announced she was running for president last January. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. So we had to go talk to her again, right? She's got to be excited to find out an old friend is the vice president-elect.
That's right, Jennifer. She said it was very good news. Diane Gottheil was good friends with Kamala's mother, Shamala. Shamala since passed away, but Kamala was still very young when she lived in the Champaign area. About 2 years old she was. But Gottheil says it was no surprise to see Kamala following her mother's legacy.
She was a very passionate person, Shamala, and I tear up sometimes when I think that she's not here to see what her daughter has achieved.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is making history in more ways than one.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
She represents people from India and people from the Caribbean, and then growing up as a black American, she represents just so many of us, so many parts of our country.
Diane Gottheil lives in Urbana. She remembers a much younger Harris than the one we see on stage. She was only about 2 or 3 when her family moved to Champaign. Her father, Don, was an economics professor at the U of I.
And I met Shamala and little Kamala, and we became extremely close, good friends. I mean, we just shared our ideals and our enthusiasm for being involved in trying to make things better.
Gottheil says it's no surprise to see Harris showing the same passion for making change.
She believed so deeply in an America where a moment like this is possible.
Harris's father later went to Northwestern. Gottheil says she's watched Harris's career from afar and feels confident looking toward the future.
Yeah, I think most of all, I'm looking forward to what she's going to do for this country, what she's already symbolizing.
And as we mentioned before, Harris will be the first female vice president in U.S. history. She'll also be the first African-American and first Asian-American to hold that position as well. Jennifer.
All right, Courtney, thank you. Harris's father was born in Jamaica and later became a U.S. citizen. Her mother is from India. Both of her parents were active in the civil rights movement. From your local election headquarters, we are still waiting for final results in some Champaign County races, including the one for circuit clerk. Democratic candidate Susan McGrath has a lead over incumbent Republican Katie Blakeman. McGrath is currently ahead by 385 votes. But County Clerk Aaron Ammon says they're still counting mail-in ballots. Right now, he's urging people to double-check that their ballots were counted. Some may have gotten a notification it was rejected or challenged.
It's a very simple process. If you haven't signed your envelope, if you didn't sign it, you can come in and sign it, or you can send us the letter stating that it is your ballot, it is your envelope, and sign that statement. And if you were rejected, it's the same process.
Tomorrow, they will be retabulating votes to make sure they match the ones from election night. All ballots will be counted by November 17th.
One central Illinois city is looking to change its calendar tonight. Bloomington City Council will talk about doing away with Columbus Day. They would replace it with Indigenous Peoples Day. They have already done this with Juneteenth, making that a holiday there. Now, as for Indigenous Peoples Day, city employees would not have the day off. Instead, the goal is to have leaders encourage the community to learn Native American history. We have a follow-up from the State House tonight. Illinois Republicans renewed their calls for the investigative hearings into Speaker Michael Madigan to continue. Lawmakers are scheduled to return to Springfield for fall veto session next week. It's still unclear if or when the Special Investigative Committee plans to meet. The committee had been investigating ComEd's attempts to bribe the Speaker. Madigan has denied wrongdoing. A representative says the one witness who did testify contradicted the Speaker's claims in a letter.
Mike Madigan gave a very weak excuse in a letter. It was not under oath, and we've already gathered evidence that contradicts or undermines his letter explanation.
The committee chair says they are still collecting evidence and documents from ComEd even while they're not meeting in public.
This is an update for you. A Decatur woman who killed her boyfriend will spend 4 years in prison. Billy Joe Soyster pleaded guilty to killing David Murray last year. She admitted to detectives she stabbed him during an argument in their home. She said Murray hit her and started yelling at her. Then she picked up a piece of broken glass and stabbed him in the chest. 2 teenagers were shot in Decatur over the weekend. It happened near North Maple and Division. Police say a man walked up and started shooting while they were on a porch. A 15-year-old was shot in the foot, a 17-year-old shot in the leg. Police are investigating.
A Sangamon County woman is dead after a 3-car crash. Troopers say 30-year-old Stephen Mars was driving west on Route 54 when his car crossed the center line. He sideswiped one car going east, then hit another head-on. 38-year-old Anissa Bartletti of Lomi died at the scene. Mars was ticketed for speeding and not using the correct lane.
He was a leader who had a positive impact on others and kind to all. How one student is being honored 9 years after his death.
Also tonight.
They felt so good about where they were at the end of last season.
And even better this year, how Brad Underwood's team is dealing with a top 10 ranking.
It's so nice out.
It was great.
Still.
It was great. Breaking records.
Let's do it again.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that.
Come on.
What I can do is show you the numbers from today that were pretty impressive. Take a look, 77 degrees, and yep, that broke the old record of 75 and is well above the average, which was 55 degrees. All right, when we come back, what we're going to highlight for you are these record temperatures. We're also going to talk about the potential for severe storms and how much cooler air is on the way. Stay tuned.